The Vrekin fleet commander, Admiral Thos, stared at the monitoring screen with his 4 eyes blinking in rapid succession, a sign of extreme confusion among his species. What he witnessed defied all military doctrine he had studied in his 2 centuries of service. "Magnify that section," he ordered, pointing a slender gray digit at the southwestern quadrant of the battlefield. A holographic display zoomed in on a cluster of human bunkers under heavy bombardment. The defensive perimeter had been holding for 3 days despite the Vrekin Armada's superior numbers and firepower. This alone was unusual enough. Humans were nothing if not tenacious, but what truly bewildered the Admiral was the small plume of smoke rising from behind the main barricade. Not weapon smoke, not burning debris. This was different. "Analysis," he demanded. His science officer, Lyrith, adjusted her sensory apparatus. "It appears to be cooking fire, Admiral." "Cooking? During an active siege?" Those dorsal ridges flared in disbelief. "Affirmative. They are preparing sustenance while defending their position." The concept was so alien to the Vrekins that the bridge fell silent. In their culture, combat was a sacred, focused endeavor requiring complete martial attention. The idea of pausing to prepare food during battle was not merely strange, it was sacrilegious. Private Mark Thompson wiped sweat from his brow as he adjusted the portable field stove behind the reinforced barricade. Plasma bolts sizzled overhead, impacting the energy shields with bright flashes of blue light. The ground trembled with each hit, but the shields were holding, at least for now. "How's that stew coming along, Thompson?" Captain Rodriguez called out between bursts of return fire. "5 more minutes, Cap. Had to substitute the dehydrated potatoes with those purple tubers we found yesterday, but I think it'll work." Nearby, Lieutenant Davis calibrated her sniper rifle while simultaneously stirring a pot of coffee brewing on a second, smaller burner. The rich aroma somehow cut through the acrid smell of plasma discharge and explosives. "Coffee's ready," she announced, pouring the steaming liquid into insulated cups. She passed them around to the soldiers manning the perimeter defenses, each taking quick sips between shooting at the advancing Vrekin forces. What the humans didn't know was that their simple act of cooking during battle was causing more disruption to the enemy command than their actual defensive tactics. "Admiral, our psychological warfare specialists are concerned," said Commander Gresh, Thos's second-in-command. "The humans' behavior suggests either supreme confidence or complete disregard for our military presence." Thos paced the command deck. "Or they're insane. What species prepares elaborate meals while fighting for their lives?" The intelligence officer, a veteran of 3 human encounters, offered her assessment. "Previous encounters suggest humans associate food with morale, Admiral. They often use communal eating as a bonding ritual, even in adverse conditions. But in the middle of combat, those couldn't comprehend it." The comm officer interrupted. "Admiral, we're receiving unusual communications from the human position." "On screen," Thos ordered. The main view screen displayed a human in battle-worn armor, holding what appeared to be a steaming bowl. The translation matrix processed his words. "Attention Vrekin forces. We prepared more stew than we can eat. Our captain extends an invitation for your frontline troops to join us for a meal before we resume trying to kill each other. No tricks, just food." The bridge erupted in confused shittering. "Is this some form of psychological warfare?" Thos demanded. "Unknown, Admiral," the intelligence officer replied, "but previous studies indicate humans sometimes pause conflicts for what they call humanitarian reasons. They have historical precedents, something called Christmas truces and breaking bread with enemies." Thos's exoskeleton trembled with indecision. In 8 millennia of Vrekin military history, there was no protocol for this situation. Captain Rodriguez watched her soldiers as they maintained defensive positions while eating their hot meal in shifts. Some spooned stew into their mouths with one hand while keeping their weapons ready with the other. "Think they'll accept our invitation?" asked Davis, sipping her coffee. Rodriguez shrugged. "Probably not, but it was worth a shot. Either way, we've confused them. Their attack pattern's been disrupted for 20 minutes now." Thompson grinned as he distributed more stew. "Who knew my grandma's recipe would be a tactical advantage in interstellar warfare?" The comms officer waved to get their attention. Captain, incoming response from the Vrekin command ship. The alien face that appeared on the screen seemed unsettled. The translation came through clearly. Human forces explain the purpose of this cooking ritual during battle. Is this a demonstration of confidence, a spiritual practice before death? Rodriguez couldn't help but smile. Nothing so complicated. We're hungry, and fighting goes better on a full stomach. The invitation stands. We have enough for at least 30 of your troops. After a long pause, the alien responded, "This is not our way." "Fair enough," Rodriguez replied, "but the offer remains open. In the meantime, we'll be resuming fire in about 10 minutes. Once everyone's finished eating, Rodriguez out." 3 hours later, the Vrekin fleet began its withdrawal from orbit. The official report would cite tactical reassessment as the reason, but Admiral Thawes knew the truth was more complex. The humans cooked during battle, he wrote in his private log. They'd paused to share meals while death reigns around them. They offered to feed the very enemies trying to kill them. Such a species cannot be understood through our military doctrine. He paused, adding a final thought. Perhaps they are not the primitives we believe them to be. Any species that maintains their cultural rituals, even in the face of extinction, possesses a strength we have not accounted for. I recommend further study before any additional engagement. As the Vrekin ships disappeared into hyperspace, the humans celebrated their unexpected victory with, naturally, a feast, cooking over fires built from the debris of battle, swapping recipes as casually as they swapped stories of combat. To human soldiers, this was nothing special. To the watching universe, it was yet another bewildering example of why humans were becoming known as the most unpredictable species in the galaxy.